Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on 10 TV Plus. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens alongside Mr. Jay Plyburn.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here.
Another day of weather, another day of weather impact alerts, and another weather impact show.
Kind of some extremes this time of year. It seems like that's Ohio in March and April, I guess. But it was close to 80 degrees a couple days ago. Then we got hit with all the rain. Cool down coming?
Yeah, we are going to stay cool as we head through this afternoon, only into the 50s. But there is good news. We will get back to the 70s tomorrow. But bad news is all the rain that comes with it.
Yeah. Take the good with the bad.
Indeed. We got the flooding out there this morning, and we'll have more flooding out there potentially tonight and into the weekend. That's why we're keeping 10 TV weather impact alert days in place through early Sunday for additional rain and storms and that potential for flooding across central Ohio. We'll be watching that throughout the weekend, so make sure you're staying up to date on the latest. Have a plan to keep connected in case those flood alerts come near you. 10 TV app will be able to send those alerts straight to your phone as soon as they're issued. And while we're focused mostly on the flooding, we do have the risk for a gusty storm or two, not just tonight, but tomorrow as well. The good news is this is a low risk. We're not talking anywhere close to the storm chances that we had out there earlier this week. I want to show you the big picture of the radar, why we have the flood concern out there, because while the first round of rain has drifted south this morning, there's more back to the south and west. This system stretches all the way out to Missouri and back down into the Great Plains. So there's a bunch of moisture left to get through before we are done, and this won't be out of our hair until we get past Sunday. So be ready for more flooding. In the last 24 hours, we've already picked up a ton of rainfall across the region. All those areas in purple, once you get down toward Athens County, Jackson, Pike County, those are areas of at least 1.5 inches of radar estimated rainfall. You can see down there in Athens County where you get to some of those reds, that could be in excess of 2.5 inches of rainfall. And we've had some reports of people up to 3 inches of rainfall. We've already seen the flooding out there this morning, and the chances for flooding will continue throughout the day today and into the weekend. All of the 10 TV viewing area remains under a flood watch until 8 a.m. on Sunday. We have those higher level flood alerts further to the south. No flash flood warnings as we head into the afternoon, which is good, but we're going to watch the rivers too. You see the kind of skinnier pieces of green? Those are river flood warnings. The Scioto River in Pickaway County, they'll be under a flood warning all the way until Monday evening. So this could be early next week by the time some of those rivers are done rising, some of those creeks are done rising. We'll have to keep a close eye on the waterways around central Ohio. As far as what we can look at as we head into the afternoon, we are expecting rain showers to pick back up between about 4 to 5 o'clock today and continue with the first round into just after sundown. Another quick break after that, but then we'll see more storm chances, more rain chances as we head through tonight. The severe weather outlook today is a level 1 out of 5. So again, it's not impossible for us to see a gusty storm, but our chances are really on the low end. Wind, hail would be the two concerns out there. We're not really expecting any chance for tornadoes today. Flooding, though, the overwhelming higher impact out there. We will be watching that carefully as we head through the next 24 hours and into the weekend. Our flood risk significantly higher than what we saw there with the severe weather risk, especially those southern counties under a level 2 out of 4 risk for flooding as we head through today and into tonight, but all of central Ohio under at least some risk for flood potential heading into the weekend. Those rain chances continue to stay pretty elevated through today and into tomorrow. I think Saturday going to contain the bulk of the moisture, both Saturday morning and again on Saturday night. Some of that rain continues into Sunday before we really start to drop things off as we head into Monday. I want to go ahead and break this down hour by hour for you. We got a lot of dry time as we head into the afternoon, which is good news for people drying out and trying to get at least some of that water to drop into those areas that have picked up the rainfall this morning. But it doesn't last long as we get deeper into the afternoon. Here comes that first wave of showers, possibly a thunderstorm. Again, maybe a little bit of strong wind out there with any of those particularly strong cells, but not a major risk for severe weather. As we head past 8 o'clock, wave 1 kind of exits the region, and then we're quiet again for a couple hours before we see the next line of storms make its way in as we head into early Saturday. Showers and storms pushing across central Ohio as we head through Saturday morning. This is about 6 a.m. p.m. Again, could see a gusty cell in there, maybe some strong winds, but for the most part, this is just going to be a rain-making threat as it pushes through. Gets out of here without too much time lingering around, so I don't think we're going to really see many flood impacts early in the day Saturday. What we're more concerned about is Saturday afternoon. That's when wider spread, heavier, more persistent rain returns. This is 2 o'clock Saturday. Those rain showers picking up once again, continuing with moderate to occasionally heavy showers as we head through Saturday evening. Again, could we see a gusty thunderstorm somewhere in that mix? It's a possibility, but the flood risk is what we are much more concerned about. As we head through early Sunday morning, you see that widespread rain continuing as it starts to push out Sunday. Newest model data into us here at 10 TV has, yes, started to put some of those blues and purples on the map, believe it or not. Potentially some wintry mix in there Sunday and into Monday before the system starts to exit. I'm not quite biting on this being a big impact. It's just been too warm and it's going to be too wet. So don't get excited if you're a winter weather fan, but just something to note might be involved from the sky before we get the rain out of here. As far as what we're looking at for expected rainfall, an additional 1 to 3 inches between now and midnight Sunday into early Monday. So that's part of the reason we have those enhanced risks for flooding out there. It's just going to continue to be a problem as we head into the weekend. Speaking of that, here's the severe weather outlook for Saturday. The chance for a windy storm a little bit higher than this afternoon, but most of that stays to the south and west. We have that level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather over most of central Ohio. But again, I want to stress wind, hail, maybe some of that in the storms. What we are certain of is the heavy rain. That is going to be the biggest impact by far when it comes to storms pushing through this weekend. Here's a look at your 10 weather impact 7-day forecast, including those 2 10 TV weather impact alert days Friday and Saturday. We're going to be watching that flood concern out there again as we head into the rest of today and the rest of the weekend. Most of the flooding expected to be worse further to the south and west of us here in Ohio. But again, those southern counties where we've already seen flooding today could see more as we head through tonight and into tomorrow. The weekend continues with those rain chances wrapping up on Sunday. Could see a few more flakes of snow on Monday. And get this, Jay, by the time we head toward Tuesday morning, we are looking at temperatures all the way down in the 20s. It is going to get cold again in central Ohio.
This is bonkers. It felt like summer a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I understand the wet weather. This is springtime, but a chance for snow?
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just like one weather model showing it. They're all in pretty good agreement that we could see some snowflakes this week.
So don't put away the winter clothing just yet because we will need it in a few days.
Yeah, I mean, we're 20s not just Tuesday morning, but Wednesday morning as well. And Monday morning, probably below freezing.
Still got that sunshine on there, though. So that's always take the sunshine.
Yeah, we got to take the sunshine, especially this time of the year. And unfortunately, you know, we haven't seen much of the sunshine in our forecast. That flooding really going to be a major concern around central Ohio. This morning, much of central Ohio was under a flood watch, and that stays in place through Sunday. Industry experts, though, they say you got to protect your home. The leading cause of home flooding is a failed sump pump, and they recommend you check it often as, well, heavy rain moves through.
Pay attention to surge protectors if something goes out. If the lights flicker, definitely go downstairs and check and make sure it's still running.
The National Flood Insurance Program claims most homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. Emergency service providers say that without insurance, you could be paying thousands of dollars out of pocket for repairs.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. And before the flooding, we had severe weather, of course, this week. And, well, now the National Weather Service has confirmed 4 tornadoes touched down in Ohio during those storms. We saw those, of course, Wednesday night. And EF1 Van Wert into Putnam County, EF2 Paulding to Putnam, EF0 that hit here in the 10 TV viewing area, Clinton to Fayette, and then another one in Brown, Clinton, and Highland counties. 8 this year, and that sounds like a lot, Jay, but keep in mind this time last year, we had 30 tornadoes.
Yeah, comparatively speaking, not that bad.
Yeah, it certainly could be a lot worse this time of the year. We did see damage, though. We spotted some of this in Pataskala. Our camera crews were out there yesterday filming the recovery. Right on their master bedroom, that tree came down. The Licking County EMA director says that straight-line winds up to 70 miles per hour were responsible for the images you're seeing on your screen. The family that lives there was not hurt, but they are wondering if that home will still be livable or if they'll have to find a new place to live. Yeah, nasty stuff there. And in Fairfield County, well, they also had damage reported from those storms Wednesday. 10 TV's Tara Jabor spent the day there yesterday looking for the hardest hit areas.
We are here on Main Street in Lancaster, and the storm did leave its mark here. Now, right now, we are standing here in front of Fruit Passion, and as you can see, the roof, they're missing a few bricks. This business also lost its sign because of the wind last night. Now, the building owner spent a lot of his day outside here working to pick up the pieces. As you can see now, this storefront is back open. They're able to do some business here today. Now, this wasn't the only establishment that had some damage. There's also a barber shop right around the corner. The third window of that barber shop did blow out because of the storm. Reporting in Lancaster, Tara Jabor, 10 TV News.
And many in Licking County are also still cleaning up after the storm. Some viewers told us that they actually didn't hear the sirens. Now, despite the tornado warning coming out, 10 TV's Lacey Crisp reports from Pataskala, where one home, again, had a lot of damage.
Crews spent the day taking out power lines and poles that the wind left dangling.
I guess it kind of came from that direction.
The Licking County EMA director says straight line winds up to 70 miles per hour caused all this damage.
Kind of always expected that tree to be the one to fall, not that one.
This is what's left of Justin Dowis' dad and stepmom's home after a tree smashed into the corner of the house.
They were actually in this corner, and he heard the shingles ripping off the house first, and then ended up hearing some branches hit, and then he heard the boom.
And next thing we knew, the power flickered, and then the sky lit up because of all this electric going down. Yeah, the sky was pretty much all orange.
Just down the street, John and Tina May watch as their power lines are cut and restrung. They're hoping to get electricity back in the next day.
Forced relaxation.
Forced relaxation, yes.
Their entertainment for the day is watching their crews restore what Mother Nature destroyed.
I was sad to see this tree over here.
While they heard the sirens, some in Licking County told 10 TV they did not. The Licking County EMA director and the Pataskala mayor tell me they're using a targeted approach to sirens, much like in Franklin County, and aren't sounding the alarms for the whole county if only part of it is in the storm's path. But the Pataskala City Administrator says the city tests the 5 sirens monthly, and all went off last night, and crews quickly got to work.
Our street department does such a good job. That tornado siren ended at 2:30, or the warning expired at 2:30, and they were out at 2:52, out here clearing roads.
Even though May says they watched storm coverage and went to the basement, he wasn't ready for what hit.
You feel very unprepared when it does happen, as much as you try to prepare it.
Yeah.
I don't think anything prepares you for that. It's just when it's the real thing, I guess.
And thanks to Lacey for that report. One thing to add, and it's a common misconception, people think that they should be able to hear those sirens in your home, but that's not actually the case. They're called outdoor warning sirens for a reason. They're supposed to notify people who are outside that they need to go inside. So if you're depending on a siren to be your source of alerts, you definitely need to make sure you have some extra ways, a weather radio or the 10 TV app. You'll get those alerts sent right to your phone. But when a tornado warning is issued, where should you go? Well, if you have a warning issued and you're in the typical house, there are a couple places you want to look for. Mostly interior bathrooms, hallways, stairwells, closets. You want to get to areas that are away from exterior walls, away from exterior windows, and then cover yourself with something protective. Of course, if you have a basement, that is the absolute best place to go during a tornado. A question we got a lot during the storms is, what about apartments? Well, if you can, get to the lowest floor. I would say make friends with your first floor neighbor. Maybe you can go there and hang out a little bit during those storms. If you can't get to the lowest level, get to the most inside part of the building, and again, cover yourself with something for protection. Mobile homes, another question that comes up a lot. Unfortunately, there is no safe place in a mobile home during a tornado. You need to find shelter in a sturdier building. A community center, a business, or a friend's house are the best places to go. And of course, speaking of tornadoes, there's a lot of myths out there about what people can do to minimize damage from potentially impactful severe weather. Well, our Verify team looked into one of those myths that actually could be putting you in danger.
Funnel clouds churning in the sky are synonymous with spring storms. And the Verified team is clearing up a dangerous falsehood. We were asked, is it true opening the windows in your house before a tornado will reduce damage by balancing the pressure inside and outside the structure? Our sources, the Missouri Department of Public Safety and the National Weather Service. This myth started from the idea that low pressure from tornadoes causes buildings to explode as the tornado passes overhead. And while tornadoes are intense areas of low pressure, the pressure isn't the problem. Homes are damaged by the extremely strong winds in a tornado, exceeding 200 miles per hour in the most extreme cases. It's the force of the wind and debris slamming into buildings that destroys them. If you open your windows before a tornado, it could make things worse, allowing dangerous winds and blowing rain inside, increasing the risk for damage. We can verify false. Opening windows in your house before a tornado will not reduce damage.
And to wrap up our coverage of this week's storms, it's time to take a quick check at things on a national level. That was a deadly system that moved through the central United States that left at least 7 people dead, including a father and daughter in Tennessee, as tornadoes and relentless rain battered the region. CBS's Nicole Valdez reports from Nashville, Tennessee.
After hours of torrential rain, raging floodwaters paralyzed much of Music City Thursday. How high was that water?
Well, the water came up, Nicole, to about right here.
The small creek next to Phil Leftwich's home of 10 years nearly spilled over the retention wall built to protect it.
It rained hard for about 5 hours. We were worrying that it would come under the house or in the house.
Those severe storms destroyed communities like Selmer, Tennessee, and killed at least 4 people across the state.
It's coming this way.
In Arkansas, this massive tornado was seen spinning in the sky. In Dearborn Heights, Michigan, just 12 miles west of Detroit, streets flooded as record rain soaked the region. Storms tore the roof off this building in Jeffersontown, Kentucky, near Louisville. Mayor Craig Greenberg with a warning for what's ahead.
That we're not out of the woods yet. We are expecting very significant rainfall over the coming days.
Millions are under flood alerts across 13 states as heavy rain continues to fall. Back in Nashville.
Well, if I'd had a surfboard, I would have gone surfing. It was that high.
Leftwich is staying positive, but knows this is just the beginning of a major flood threat that could leave neighborhoods like his underwater again. Nicole Valdez, CBS News, Nashville.
And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV, getting away from severe weather but staying in the natural world. This is aerial video of Hawaii's Kilauea volcano spewing lava 650 feet into the air on Thursday. Man, it's been active out there when it comes to those eruptions recently, but every time that video is impressive, Jay.
Yeah, the pop of the orange against that gray landscape is really incredible.
I was going to say, I mean, I've seen some of these videos over the past couple of weeks because, I mean, it just kind of keeps erupting. It's been in that active phase.
Yeah.
You see it at night. I mean, it lights up the whole sky. It's wild.
Gives a whole new feel to the floor is lava game.
The floor is literally lava. Do not get close. I would love to see it in person, kind of.
I would too,
list,
yeah.
But
they make special gear that you can get closer to it. You still gotta kind of keep your distance.
Gotta stay. I mean, that heat will travel because that stuff.
Oh,
it's lava. It's hot.
Very hot.
Very hot. But speaking of warm weather, well, it comes in spring, and spring has sprung. Tulip mania is once again attracting social media trendsetters to the Netherlands' world-famous garden to see those flowers. Around 7 million tulips are expected to bloom at the Keukenhof Gardens, creating a kaleidoscope of color on people's social media feeds.
Oh, you know it's great for social media.
Oh, yeah.
So our friends in West Michigan getting ready for tulip time as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've never been up to Grand Rapids, you go a little bit further to the south, and there's a town called Holland, and of course, they lean into the whole Dutch heritage there. They've got the windmills, and they've got tons of tulips every spring.
Incredible tulip display there. But yeah, for the allergy sufferers,
it's not good for the allergy sufferers.
They don't like them as much.
You don't want a selfie sneezing on your Instagram feed.
No,
That's not very good.
That doesn't go over as well.
It's still pretty, though.
Beautiful stuff.
Absolutely. And, well, speaking of pretty stuff, our weather, not so pretty, but we'll keep you covered here at 10 TV. And while we're done with today's 10 Weather Impact Show, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz, he'll be back at 6 o'clock tonight to keep you informed on all of our weather impact alert days heading into this weekend. Until then, you can find more news and weather online, 10tv.com. Have a great afternoon.
See ya.